Nigel Farage has ignited fresh controversy today, with sharp comments targeting former party figures Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib during an appearance on GB News. In a blunt dismissal of their influence, Farage declared, "They think they're more important than they are. They're frankly nothings." Addressing the ongoing tensions within the party he has steered to recent electoral success. The remarks come amid a deepening rift with Lowe and Habib, both of whom have challenged Farage's leadership and direction for Reform UK. Farage's remarks also touched on a recent police report filed by Reform UK chairman Zia Yusuf against Lowe, though he declined to elaborate, signalling a reluctance to further inflame the situation. His choice to downplay the significance of Lowe and Habib underscores a strategy to consolidate control over the party as it navigates its newfound prominence as a major opposition force to Labour.
A few weeks ago, Nigel, with all of the furore around Rupert Lowe, people were saying, this is it, this is going to be, this isn't just a dent in the Reform Party, this is going to destroy the Reform Party. And over the weekend, people were saying, Rupert who? Yeah. It doesn't appear to have made any sort of impact, despite the best efforts of Andrew Pearce with his journalistic expertise.
Even though I work here, I'm going to be critical of GB News. GB News covered this story obsessively, as if it was some huge story.
It's all his fault.
And it was never a huge story. It was one person who had increasingly been heading in a different direction from us.
Your chairman made it a big story by calling in the police.
Well, he did do that.
Do you think that was a good idea? Nigel Farage, I'm going to challenge you.
I'll pass on that.
There we are.
I'll pass on that.
It was a bizarre decision for Zia Yusuf to call in the police.
But you know, it was only ever going to be one person. And the upshot of this, what it really tells you is that X is not the real world.
Yeah. Correct. You know, Twitter as it was now.
Twitter as it was is not the real world. So, yeah, you know, when you get problems in life, the best thing is to confront them.
Would you have him back now in the party, Rupert Lowe, after all of this? Ben Habib, is there a way back for Ben?
Over my dead body.
Well, he wrote a piece saying you didn't deserve your victory. Did you see it?
I mean, I'm sorry, you get these small, very insignificant people who
say what you think, Nigel.
Who think they're more important than they are. They're frankly nothings. There you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I don't mind people sounding off. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I never have done. As long as there's some fundamental underlying loyalty. And that's the one thing I demand.
Yeah. You just kept the ship steady, it seemed, as an observer, when all of the headlines were about Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib and whether this was a split in the political right. You just kept your hand on the tiller, it seemed, and you just carried on in that direction towards those local council elections where you've swept the board by any definition and that by-election. Were you confident, Nigel, all the time throughout that process that it was going to go that way?
Of course. Well, I was confident that Rupert Lowe and the alt-right Tommy Robinson supporters on X, you know, weren't much of a benefit to us. I was confident about that. I was confident it was the right thing to do. You know, I knew it would dent us in the short term, but no more than dent us. But, you know, I mean, look at the image of the party now. You know, we now have two very prominent women in the party. We have...
So Andrea Jenkins is the mayor of Lincolnshire.
Andrea Jenkins and Sarah Pochin. So we have two prominent women now amongst the sort of top half a dozen team in the party. We have a chairman who's a very brilliant man, Zia Yusuf.
Despite calling in the police.
Do you know what? When you do as much as... It's all well and it's easy for journalists. Just sit in the back of the room.
You wouldn't have done it.
You
wouldn't have done it.
All you lot do is chuck bricks.
You wouldn't have done it.
When you're someone at the front line doing stuff, you do 100 things. You might get one wrong. You know. So we've got and who happens to be a member of the ethnic minorities. Not that that's why he's there.
As Reform UK continues to reshape British politics, Farage's latest comments underscore the high stakes of his leadership. Whether his dismissal of Lowe and Habib strengthens his grip on the party or fuels further division remains to be seen. For now, the battle for the soul of the British right is heating up, with Farage at its centre.